Netflix, you're killing it this year. Would you please stop it? I can't handle this top 10 this year. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's Netflix original movie review of Train Dreams. This film is directed by Clint Bentley. So based on the story from Dennis Johnson, Train Dreams is about an individual who is played by Joel Edgerton, who plays Robert. He and his wife and his young daughter have moved out to the wide open. They have a home. They are trying to provide. They are trying to live on the land, and they are trying to just be people in this like up and coming world that is America. And during the 1800s and late 1800s, early 1900s, we had people who were loggers who would basically cut down trees to help support society. Guys would go out, the fathers would go out, do all that stuff. Very difficult work. People died, as you see in this movie. And basically, that's what Joel Edgerton's Robert character does. He leaves his wife and his daughter to go make money so that they can survive and support themselves. But in the process, a story like this is told through a narration. We are told through Robert's life as he grows older, as tragedy happens. We have people like William H. Macy and Paul Schneider, John Deal in this movie, as well as Felicity Jones and Carrie Condon. And it's a story about a man's life and the tragedies that befall him, and the fact that life is just a very hard thing to deal with. And when the things that do happen that become like major issues, like tragedy, somebody dies and something like that, it kind of tears into your soul, and it's very difficult. And that's what this movie does. So it's basically about a man who's going through tragedy. It's also dealing with the fact that he has to find a way to get through his life as he becomes older and older and older. So it's a very realistic tale, very Americana tale about a man who feels like he is cursed in a lot of respects. So that's kind of how this movie rolls. So Clint Bentley is, of course, a director that I've known for quite a while as a director who's directed stuff like Jockey, which was one of my favorite movies to come out of Sundance. Not well known, probably not a lot of people saw it, but it had, of course, Clifton Collins Jr. in it. It was really good. And now he, of course, got an Oscar nomination for Sing Sing, which he wrote with Greg Quidar, who is the writer on this movie. And I was really excited to see this movie because I love Joel Edgerton. I think he's great. I think he's one of the most underrated actors working today. He's a great director. He's a great actor. One of my favorite shows that came out last year, Dark Matter, he starred in and was fantastic in. And so with a movie like this, I actually got to see it a couple weeks before it premieres. I got to see it at the Miami Gems Film Festival, so I do appreciate that. And I went into this with anticipation because of the director, the cast, Felicity Jones and William H. Macy and John Deal and Clifton Collins Jr. And so for my honest opinion of this movie, it's fantastic. Is it my favorite movie of the year? No, it's probably not a top 10 movie, but it has great performances by, of course, Joel Edgerton, who gives like a career-defining performance. It has great performances from William H. Macy. These are two that are talked about possibly getting Oscar nominations. And it's a movie about a slice of life that just contains everything in multitudes of like how tragedy affects us, how we handle that situation, how the people that we go through in life, how they affect us on a personal and metaphysical and mental level, as well as on our soul. And you watch this guy just do what he can to provide for his family. And every time something happens, he has to find a way to get through it. And so therefore, this movie just really feels authentic. It really feels real. It feels like what Jockey was like, the other Clint Bentley movie that he did. Things just happen to you. Things are just there to cause chaos in your life, and you have to work around it. And watching Joel Edgerton's Robert character just work through everything is a really cathartic, but also sad and melancholy experience, because life is just a tragedy upon a tragedy upon a tragedy. But there is so much to like about this movie, between the cinematography, between the storytelling, between the based off material that it's based off, between the direction of Clint Bentley and all the actors involved, because it really is a down-to-earth, really kind of moody movie. It's all about the vibes of this movie, watching them in the forest. I think they're in Oregon or Washington or whatever. Watching them kind of work on the trees, watching just events happen around Robert's character, like somebody is an outlaw or he kills somebody's brother and he gets shot and everybody just goes back to work. It really is just kind of a mood movie in a lot of respects, a movie that with a vibe to it that just shows us the slice of life back in the late 1800s. 1800s. And as it moves along into the early 1900s, as this guy gets older into the 1960s and stuff like that, it really shows you how the things we do and how we are as growing up and how we kind of perceive things changes dramatically. You see it now, you know, somebody who was born in the 80s, who grew up in the 90s, who's now living in a world where there's AI and we have cell phones and all that stuff. The world is so different than when I was growing up. So imagine living in a world where you took a train to cut down trees, and now you have cars, and now you have like and now you have gas powered saws, and you have like mechanical machines destroying trees and stuff like that. It really shows you the time, how time affects everything, and it does it in a very interesting, well-worn fashion, and I really appreciate that. Once again, I think the movie does drag a little bit. I think it is a little overrated when it comes to what it's trying to do, when it comes to like what everybody thinks about it, because it is a fantastic movie. It is a really well put together movie. Everybody is great in it, especially Joel Edgerton. But once again, I think the movie struggles under the simple fact that like it's been done before. It's done much better before, and therefore, you know, I give it on Letterboxd, I give it a 4 out of 5 because I just think there are much better movies that deal with this material, that deal with this subject matter. But it doesn't take away from what Clint Bentley is doing and what he's portraying on the screen and how he's portraying his actors and, you know, so on and so forth, because you watch the story, you realize that you are part of the story. You are going through stuff like this, maybe in a different form or fashion, maybe different ways of doing it, but it is what life is. Life is just a bunch of chaotic moments and a bunch of strange tragedies that happen that you just kind of go with it. So that's what this movie is doing. That's what it's trying to say. Once again, it'll probably get a lot of Oscar nominations between screenplay, actor, possibly best picture and stuff like that. And it definitely is worth it. But once again, I've seen a couple more movies this year that I feel are much better movies, and it doesn't take away from this movie. My personal feeling is this movie didn't hit me as hard as a lot of people, but it has a lot of great stuff to it. But that's my take on Train Dreams. Once again, it'll be on Netflix very soon, but it also is in limited release to get Oscar consideration, all that good stuff. So definitely check it out. It is definitely worth watching it, but it is very downtrodden. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, that's my take. I do appreciate it. In the comments below, have you seen this movie? What do you think of it? Are you looking forward to it? All that good stuff. Otherwise, let me know. If you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button, the Joy Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell, top to find what's coming next. If you like the video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.